All right, we good? First timer, so bear with me. Yeah, as you all know, Monday we started the off-season program. Had a great turnout. And it's been awesome. I mean, today's Wednesday, so you have the natural high on Monday, and you're riding that, and emotionally you get geared back up to finish the week strong and continue phase one. So phase one, we love. I'm talking from a biased point of view, strength and conditioning. That's when we get, time on the field with the guys, time in the weight room, on field. We're working everything from max acceleration or max velocity, acceleration, change of direction, decel, and then into tissue prep, conditioning, cardiovascular conditioning. That's going to carry us through phase one into phase two, OTAs, and then minicamp. In the weight room, we're working on structural balance. So we're really trying to build a base, right? So front to back, left to right, something that we can lay down as the foundation to go into more of a power phase, take us into minicamp, and a successful 2024 season. So I'm excited. It's been a great turnout. We've had a lot of fun with it. The guys are working their tails off, and can't wait to keep going. Is there any questions?
Hey, Scott, just how would you kind of describe? You kind of gave a rundown there. But
Yeah.
What are kind of what's the core philosophy, I guess, of the program as you build it out, starting now throughout the entire season?
Yeah. So with the core philosophy, it all comes back to really what you hear Coach Harbaugh say, throughout the year. We want to be the strongest team in the NFL. And yeah, in week one, but in December, and then even beyond, right? December football means the most, but that's what carries us into the playoffs. So that is the baseline for our core philosophy. So what we're doing now, when I say structural balance, we're really trying to I look at these guys as skyscrapers in the sense of they're larger than life. So with that, with a skyscraper, you got to dig down deep. You got to have a foundation that supports that. So you can talk injury prevention, you can talk performance, you can talk all these things, but what it comes down to is what we do out here, and especially in the weight room, makes them the best version of themselves out on the field. That's what it all comes down to.
Your job, fairly or unfairly, often is judged mostly by injury aversion and injuries. Just what's your philosophy regarding that? How do you handle that?
Yeah. You can't be the best version of yourself if you're not available to play. So, there's an old saying that the greatest ability in football is availability. And second to that is repeatability. Can you do it time and time again? So, there's a couple things that play into that. Strength through full ranges of motion, I put a high priority on. And then in a controlled environment, put them in positions and in places that we can strengthen so that when they're put in it out in a dynamic environment, they've been there before. Because injury can occur when the body's put in place that hadn't been before, it's got to react. So we're trying to kind of train that to a degree.
How important is it for these guys sort of come in here already sort of shape
Yeah.
as far as hit the ground running?
Oh, it's great. And again, you're talking to a biased opinion here, but the Raven way, we've got the guys have come in phenomenal shape. So that allows us to kind of start one step ahead of maybe where you'd have to start elsewhere, start more basic. So it's of huge value, and then it allows us to kind of progress more efficiently leading into phase two and then to phase three when they're, OTAs and then minicamp.
Scott, how do you work with guys who have off-season programs or maybe you have personal trainers? How do you mesh your program with what they're doing?
Yeah, we sit down with the guys as they come back, and we go through an audit, what they're looking to gain out of this program, our program. Because we say our program, it's not the strength staff's program, it's collectively, it's our program. So we're looking at what they've done, whether they were away for the last 8 weeks or really a lot of times we'll be in communication with the trainer that they're working with so that we know, so that we can either advance what they're doing, we can redirect, we can work together on it to kind of help meet the needs of the athlete.
Scott, how do you balance, you had a good year, I mean nobody bats 1,000, but you guys had a pretty good year on the injury front. How do you balance trying to stay cutting edge and push things forward with not wanting to kind of tinker with some of the stuff that worked really well last year on that front?
Yeah. You're always looking to progress, right? But you also, kind of to Garrett's point of the core foundation you want to stay true to. Bless you. We had a great year in that regard. We had great preparation. Really, to maybe be more specific in that answer, my word for them this week was intent, right? I said last year was effort and energy. Bring the effort, bring your energy, we match it. This year was intensity, but we talked about it in the sense of how do you get to intensity? It's not the rah-rah, it's not the 1 rep max, it's your level of intent. So I think that's how we take it this year, what we were able to kind of accomplish last year. And with a high level of intent or tenacious intent to make intensity, that's where we can be specific. We individualize the programs. We make it customized to them to give them the best opportunity to, again, be the best version of themselves out on the field.
Scott, what's the energy like right now among the team, and what are they building on in this phase?
Yeah, energy's high with an edge. Be the simplest way to say it. You know, just obviously you have the ability to reflect back on last year during the off season, and guys have come back with high energy because they know the path that we kind of ventured down as a group, and we got a large portion of the team back. We've got great additions, so there's an edge to it in the sense of taking the next step.
Other than the low injury rate, what do you think some of the biggest successes you guys had last year were that you want to build off of, and what were some of the new tweaks you made as you head into this offseason?
Yeah, I would say, you know, building off the successes last year is the engagement with the weight room, the players understanding that we're here to work for them and with them, right? But you know, we talk about the customization of the workouts, and then we talk about, you know, different recovery modalities that we've implemented with the guys through training camp throughout the year, and then we kind of reworked. We tweaked last year. We've continued to tweak it this year of how we approach our programming. Our programming is still as consistent as it ever has been over the last, you know, handful of years, but we lead into it much more with a care of approach with mobility and activation focus, and then we get into our primary movers. And what that's kind of built on, or built for us, is players having that intent when we get to the work of what the work is focused on. So they feel ready, they attack it, and that allows for us to grow it.
Scott, new running back this year, Derrik Henry,
Yeah.
notorious workout
Yeah.
legend.
Yeah, I'd like to take credit for that, I wish, but.
What's that process been like? And then kind of spinning forward, obviously he's a guy who's 30 now and kind of on that back end of things in terms of we see declines in running backs. So how do you sort of manage to avoid those situations, I guess?
So Derek was here on Monday, you know, yesterday and today, and you know, when you get past just the awe factor of, you know, as advertised, you know, everything you see, and we played him last year, and of course we've seen him over the years, but to see him in here running, lifting, I go back to the word intent. He attacks everything with such a high level of intent with tenacity. That's why he's Derrik Henry. That's why what we're gonna help him do is keep that same trajectory. He's had one heck of a career. Our goal is that it gets even better from here, you know, and not age, not years of service, none of that. He keeps getting better and better, and it's his work ethic. I mean, that was evident in the last 72 hours. It's immediate. The guy has a high level of focus. He prioritizes his body. He works extremely hard, and that's what's gonna continue.
We'll take two more.
Scott, Lamar always seems to kind of be like the Pied Piper. People want to be around him, they follow him.
Yeah.
How much does, when he's around and involved, how much does that kind of lift the level and expectations of the room?
He's a magnet. Right? Everybody sees it. You see it kind of in the media. You see Lamar out on the field. He's a magnet. But in the weight room, out here running, how physically gifted he is one aspect of it. But his personality that's you know, paired with it, guys are drawn to it. And then there's a competitive nature, and you know, all of us, I'd say all of us in the building are drawn towards Lamar's personality. So having him, you know, engage with us and bought in is just it's been incredible.
Scott, on those lines, I think people saw Lamar coming into the building looking a little bit lean.
Yeah.
I guess how much is even worth reading into someone's physical appearance at this point in the calendar?
Right. You know, Lamar coming in on Monday, everybody's talking about being lean. Lamar's in great shape, and what it's allowing us to do, and I just got done with the training session with him before coming out here, is to add lean muscle on top of it. We did shoulder conditioning today, you know, to help him be the elite quarterback that he is. So I'd say this: I've never been more excited in April for Lamar Jackson.
All right, thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Scott.